You're watching The Shift Asia. I'm Frida Liu. In 2023, Renuka Sena, co-founder and CEO of Proficio, was appointed as the national expert for the World Summit Awards for WSA. WSA is a global competition recognizing digital innovations that positively impact society. It connects startups, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders across 182 UN member states, promoting digital solutions to address local challenges and advance the UN SDGs. So every year, upwards of 900 nominations are submitted by national experts from around the world, and only 5 global winners from 8 categories are selected by a global jury. The national winner for the Culture and Heritage category for 2024 was Imagine AI. And Imagine AI provides customizable AI solutions for various sectors, focusing on quality control, inspection, and educational applications to empower diverse industries. So Edwin Loh, all the way from Johor, here today to talk a little bit more about this. And I think one of the things that probably brought about your solution was that rising labor costs and human errors were affecting production. Your first proof of concept on an assembly line was made in June 2018 and achieved your breakthrough inflection point in July 2020. Can you tell us more about that and what does it mean?
Yeah, right. Thank you, Freda, and thank you for the kind invitation today. You're correct to say that the proof of concept was 2018 and the actual breakthrough was 2020. And the reason why it took a couple of years before we managed to be accepted in a certain sense, right, is number one, I think, was in the earlier years, a lot of the industries and businesses in Malaysia were not quite ready to accept technology and AI. And AI was still very nascent at that point of time. There was also an idea or a misconception that it was going to be really expensive. AI is going to be expensive. Yes. And so what we had to do was to try to demystify AI. There was a few years where we had to work together with the client to make sure that they're comfortable about the solution, make sure they're confident about the solution. For example, the business owner actually wanted us to prove that the AI was able to achieve the certain accuracy that they desired. So we actually had to do a proof of concept, and after we achieved that level of accuracy, that was when the buy-in happened.
Okay. So what are some other industry issues there are in production?
All right. If you look at the Malaysia and Southeast Asia in general, a lot of businesses, especially in manufacturing, tend to rely on lower skilled and cheaper kind of labor, especially foreign labor. Now that then give rise to this vicious cycle of chasing and trying to bring the cost down, because obviously over the years there's inflation, and to overcome this, businesses then try to go cheaper and cheaper in terms of the human resource. Unfortunately, when they do that, it then leads to higher human error rate. More QC problems, more rejects, right? For example, some of my clients in Malaysia, some of the factory clients, right, they could be producing these very tiny component parts like screws and widgets, and they actually export it to, for example, in Europe, right? Sometimes the order could be maybe about 3 million pieces or 3 million screws per month. The Malaysian company would then actually produce 3.3 to 3.5 million and send it to Europe. So that means they will actually absorb this 10 to 15% additional
That's
cost.
a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, right? And the reason is because the costs of the customer finding the defects,
so
rejecting it back.
They're really preempting. They're going to make errors.
It's it's the QC, right? And so they just send extra, and in this case, that additional cost then gets absorbed into the cost of production. So to overcome this, then they try to drive the cost lower by getting again lower cost labor, right? And trying to fit it with a very low skilled, labor intensive kind of manufacturing.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle.
And it doesn't help with the running of business efficiently.
It doesn't, yeah.
So when you started this as well, was your focus more of manufacturing facilities in Johor itself?
It is, yeah. Okay, so Johor is a very big manufacturing center. It also helped, actually, some of the catalysts actually came from government initiatives through the various, the 4IR grants and the smart automation grants that actually help to catalyze, or kickstart the adoption of some of this technology. And I would like also to say to the audience, right, that in a way, AI and technology is a kind of a drug, but don't worry, we're not selling drugs here, right? But in a sense, when the clients first embark on this, maybe with the support of the government, at the beginning, most of them will be calculating the ROI and looking at it as, what is my labor cost saving if I implement this automation technology or AI technology. And that's the only thing they count. And it's really hard to justify the solution if you just look at labor cost saving, because in Malaysia, first and foremost, labor is very cheap. And secondly, humans multitask, right? Sometimes they can be doing QC inspection and then they can be doing maintenance and cleaning, right? So it's difficult to replace half a worker, right? However, once the business owner start adopting these solutions, that's when they start realizing the what they call the power of the data, because technology and AI helps to digitize the data. When you rely on human workers, everything is manually driven, right? So QC inspection, for example, humans check, maybe they write it on a piece of paper, maybe from there they key into the computer, maybe not, right? So what happens is that there is no data and there's no data analysis after that, right? So with AI and technology, we actually digitize all this information, and that's where the client can then put in place data analysis, can put in place, for example, predictive and preventive maintenance. So the example I mentioned earlier about increasing the cost of production by 10 to 50%, they can actually help to minimize this by having better information and data about their business in terms of the defect percentage.
What are some of your solutions under your company?
All right. We started off with the manufacturing, which is using AI vision, vision for quality control inspection. And I think we have grown from strength to strength, and right now we have a lot of solutions for AI vision, for example, for factory, for quality control inspection, for agriculture, for grading and sorting agricultural produce, palm oil, for example, using cameras and AI vision to grade the FFB before they go into the mill. All right. So these are all what we call AI vision projects. But about 2 to 3 years ago, we also started doing R&D into what we call general business digitization automation, because not all businesses, for example, factory, you may not need quality control inspection or grading and sorting, right? But all businesses will have lots and lots of documents and data. So what we have done in the past 3 years was develop this what we call AI as a service tool, leveraging on what we call generative AI to do data extraction from your business, from your documents, from your software. And from all this data, using today what is known as generative AI, we can output it in any form you want. So we can actually convert a text to a PPT or a video. One of the tools that we have, for example, is AI robot presenter or a teacher. You just have to upload your PPT, press submit, and a video will be generated instantaneously with a robot avatar presenting the information.
Right, so it helps them in their business. This is not for the manufacturing space?
Yes, correct. It's not for the manufacturing space. It's more for general business to improve their efficiency, productivity, reduce their costs, and increase their revenue. Just now you mentioned about how does it help the business. For example, if you have, a lot of companies have their corporate videos and company profile. So now, just press of a button, they can generate a video that is interactive. That means their customers or their intended clients, right, can actually watch this video, ask any questions about the company, and the robot or the chatbot will be able to answer these questions.
Your solutions, I guess, would help with SMEs as well.
Oh yes, yes. I think that is the direction that we're going, and actually the company's tagline, Imagine AI's tagline is Imagine the future, Imagine AI for everyone. Why that's important was because, as you correctly pointed out, when we first started, our projects were all with the factories, for example, turnkey solutions for quality control inspection. Most of these projects are quite large projects, usually $500,000 or $1 million or more kind of projects, right? And the kind of clients that can afford this type of projects will be quite large and very high volume kind of clients. For the smaller clients, of course, they will not be able to afford these solutions. So that's the reason why we went on to developing what we call AI as a service, a SaaS model, not the hardware, but more like a software for them where they can actually subscribe and they have access to all these AI tools for their businesses. So right now the tools will be things like document extraction. Any document, any data, any paper, we can extract the data. Output generation, so in terms of reports, PPTs, even Excels and videos, they can generate all these reports and content immediately.
Right.
We also have what we call AI chatbots or AI agents. For example, for customer service.
Right.
This is very suitable for SMEs that have small chain outlets. Like for example, if you're retail and you have like 5 to 10 outlets all over Malaysia, right? And you want your customers to reach out to you, give you feedback or chat with you, right? And previously it used to be a human customer service agent. So now we centralize all this into one standard portal where all the different comments from the different social media feed, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, will pull over to one place and the AI will actually respond to the customer instantaneously.
Okay, right. And how does, I was just interested as well, how does your solution fall under the culture and heritage category?
Okay, that was interesting. Remember I mentioned about the AI tool where we can convert any document into an AI robot presented document. So that project actually started off as an AI robot teacher. We developed it for the purpose of schools and education, where we thought that the schools and the teachers would like to use this tool to convert some of their courses and PPTs into an AI robot teacher. Not to replace the human teacher. And I would like to say to the audience now that the AI is never to replace humans, it's actually to assist humans, right? So in the case of the teacher, we would like, for the students to be able to do some of the learning outside of the classroom. In the middle of the night, on the weekends, I'm sure the teachers don't want the students to be calling them at 2 o'clock in the morning to ask questions, right? And so what will happen is that if they can actually do the learning and Q&A with the robot teacher, during the very limited classroom time, the teacher actually can do more, what we call that, creative exercises, project work, critical thinking, right? So that's where quality education can happen. So we developed that tool, and when we started introducing it, by accident, we found several use cases, not just for the school and teaching, but our factory client, remember we had a lot of factory clients, we went back to them and they actually wanted it as a kind of internal training for their workers because they have a lot of foreign workers. So some of the factories actually upload just one document and convert into 8 different languages, Bangladeshi, Vietnam, Myanmar, Indonesia, right? That was one use case. And then once, it was a series of events. So when we started doing the multi-language, that was where, we met up with Renako from WSA, and during one of the sessions, some of the judges actually asked, can this teacher be used for some of the indigenous language? Right? Not just the common languages, but can be used, for example, the dialects, and then some of the Borneo languages, like the Bidayu and the Baja. And that's where then we started talking about how we can actually utilize this AI teacher or AI presenter to digitize some of the disciplinary languages and maybe the recipe. Like every family has a favorite grandmother recipe, which maybe in the next 15, 20 years may no longer be around, right? For example, cultural heritages, right? So, and that's where the idea evolved to not only presenting lessons, but actually capturing and digitizing cultural heritage and language. Yes.
Right. Okay. So you have an MV lab. Okay. Tell me about the MV lab.
Right, interesting. We set up a MV lab, or we call machine vision lab in Johor. Actually, right now in Johor we have 2 labs. One is a machine vision lab. It's more for students and for anybody who's interested to learn about AI vision. They will come to the lab and they can get access to different equipment to capture images and do AI computer vision. We have another lab which is for industry, and we call it more of a what called AI Vision Solutions Development Center. Solutions meaning industries come to us with various pain points, and we use this lab to do feasibility studies, and we maybe get some samples back from the clients, bring it back to the lab, and do some studies and see whether we can apply some of the solutions.
What have been some of the pain points?
Sorry?
What have been some of the pain points?
What are some? Well, quality control inspection is one. That will be one pain point. And like I mentioned, we move from factories now to, we're still doing factory projects, but we're also moving to more office documents. So one of the big pain points that we have is digitizing and archiving all these documents that some companies have. Some companies have been around for many, many years, and maybe in the past 10 years, they start moving towards digitizing the documents, but before that, all their documents are all in filing cabinets.
Right. Yes.
And so what they want to do now is to start digitizing, archiving them, but not just scanning these documents, but actually having an analysis of this document, like sorting them into reports and trend analysis, data analysis, right? So that's one of the pain points some of the clients have, which is the papers and the documents that they have, and we try to digitize
right?
them.
All those years, and then how much space it takes up as well, right?
Yeah.
Have your solutions been adopted outside Malaysia?
Yes, yeah. A lot of solutions. We have clients mainly from Southeast Asia, in Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, of course. We're so close to Singapore. A lot of solutions are vertical based. So we have, of course, we're very strong in manufacturing, but the document extraction AI that I mentioned, we have also managed to get a lot of clients from what we call the banking and financial industry. So they use our system to extract information from financial documents. For example, for loan approval. So previously, maybe it will take you 7 to 10 days to get a loan approved. Now with our system, you just submit it, and instantaneously you'll get your loan approved. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and of course, if there's any, any discrepancy in the documents, that's where they will feedback to you. They reject the documents immediately and ask you to resubmit or something like that. Right.
So what's next for Imagine AI?
Thank you for the question. I think we will continue to grow. We hope to be the leading AI company in Malaysia. One of the advantage we feel about Malaysia is the relatively low cost of skilled talents if compared to some of the developed countries or even compared to Singapore. So that actually
cannot compare to Singapore.
Cannot compare to Singapore, which means that especially also with our current government's push initiative towards AI literacy and AI adoption, even with the infrastructure and data centers coming up, this actually it's really good for Malaysia, because Malaysia actually can be positioned as a global AI center. How, for example, in the past, India used to be very good in software outsourcing, Philippines maybe contact center, right, call center. And now there's an opportunity whereby Malaysians can actually work remotely in Malaysia for foreign companies in terms of AI development. Because a lot of this is software based, right? So we can actually be a global AI center, Malaysia. That's what I think Imagine AI would like to push this initiative to be the leading AI company and to position Malaysia as a global AI center. The second thing I think would be to develop more vertical-based solution. So did mention that we have FinExtract, which is essentially giving you credit score from financial documents. Now we are also moving towards vertical-based solutions, for example, HR and corporate comm advisory. So our AI agents have been trained with all these HR law, labor laws, corporate communication, corporate law, tax advisory, and it's a subscription basis or licensing basis where companies can actually, instead of engaging rather expensive lawyers, they can just subscribe to this service and get this information or real-time consultancy.
So moving beyond your initial foray with manufacturing, moving beyond
to more vertical-based solutions. I think maybe just to share. So we have, and of course, we are an AI company. So when we go into vertical-based solutions, we need to collaborate with subject matter experts. So in this case, we collaborate with a HR lawyer, right?
Right.
And we are now collaborating also with a medical doctor. Actually, his name is Dr. Hanif, and we have collaborated on a project called Maya, which stands for MAIA, Medical AI Assistance, I believe, which is very happy to say that one of the first Malaysian companies that use AI to read X-ray images for bone fracture.
Okay.
And there's opportunity here to using the AI to bring world-class healthcare to marginalized communities,
Okay.
where some of the doctors may not be able to go there, but we can use AI to do the early screening first. Yeah.
All right, so this is where you go into your cultural and heritage category.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for spending time with us, and thanks for coming all the way from Johor as well. You've been watching The Shift Asia.